this is Michael Smalley with LoopLane.com. And today what I wanted to talk to you about is, as a parent, I have 3 children of my own. I have 2 teenagers and a 9-year-old. And so I can know about firsthand the stress that you go through trying to raise kids. And one of the big common errors I see parents, especially of teenagers, make is they become too strict. Now, I'll be honest, if one of my teenagers was watching this video at LoopLane right now, they'd be like, wait a minute, you're strict. What I want to encourage you is that if you don't want a rebellious teenager, then you do want to be careful about the level of rules that you kind of lord over them. And lording over your teenager means that you're constantly hovering, constantly on top of them. Don't give them any freedom. Don't allow them to make any decisions on their own. That's when you really begin to lord over them, and I can tell you unequivocally, your teen is going to rebel from that. And what I have found is that, at least with my teenagers, it seems far more effective to be able to tell them, look, y'all, this is what I'm hoping you do. This is what my expectation is. Here are the consequences for certain rules. Because a lot of parents, what will happen is they'll go, well, I don't want my kid to rebel, and so I'm not going to have any rules. Well, no, kids still want boundaries. Just be careful that you have the right boundaries in place and that you don't get too controlling or too lording over or too much on top of them. Because the heavier it feels on top of them, the more they're going to want to escape that weight. And even recently with my son, with a young lady that I didn't necessarily want him to be going out with, I didn't say, I forbid you to go out with that young lady. What I said is, bro, I don't encourage you to. This is not the kind of girl that I think is best for you. But ultimately, you need to make that decision. And he goes, well, what does that mean? I go, what it means is if you choose to date her, we're just not going to be very involved. And right now, he doesn't have a driver's license. And I go, so when you want to go on a double date and you want to do all these things, we're not going to be a part of that because this is not someone we're interested in you dating. Now, I mean, obviously you can do it, but it's just going to be a slightly limited relationship. And it felt like how he responded to that was like, okay, now I have a choice. I mean, I can go out with her. It's going to be slightly limited. My parents are not going to be supportive of it, but we're also not going to be cruel. We're not going to be punishing, and we're not going to lord over him and send him to his bedroom for a month because he's going out with a girl we don't want him to. So just remember, as you're working with your kids, be as encouraging as possible, and just think in your head, hey, do we have too many rules? Because the heavier it gets, the more they're going to want to escape that way.